Well, beauty certainly helps me slay my beast. Every day I wake up and I try to see the beauty in the world, and it keeps my beast of addiction at bay. See, staying sober gives me the power to climb all the big buildings in my way. Welcome to Movies Making Sense. This week, the devastating accidental success of King Kong. The original King Kong is my #1 favourite film. I do love all the iterations, but to me, the 1933 is the true king. It's full of nostalgia and wonder. It was the first time I saw an inanimate object come to life. When I found out it was just one fella behind the FX, my tiny little mind exploded with the possibilities of what I could achieve in my own passions. But poor King Kong, he's just this big old creature trying to find his way in the world, you see. He's plucked from his home, taken to a strange city where he doesn't belong, and all he wants is to be free, to roam the jungles where he belongs. But instead he's put on display like some circus act, gawked at and treated like a monster. Underneath all that fur and ferocity, there's a heart that just wants to be loved and understood. So when he lashes out in fear and frustration, can we really blame him? He's just a misunderstood giant trying to find his way home, much like us. So there are countless tales of trials and tribulations behind the scenes in getting Marion C. Cooper's vision up there on the silver screen. And I'll chat about a perceived devastating mistake that actually became an accolade in a little bit. But first, did you know that the Komodo dragon was first discovered in the years prior to production, which spawned the idea of bringing a gorilla to Indonesia and making it fight with the Komodos? Can you believe that? Certainly before the days of no animals were harmed during the making of this film. But on to the mistake. Willis O'Brien pioneered stop-motion animation, which is the practice of taking photos with tiny adjustments and stitching them together to create movement. It takes 24 frames to create a single second of smooth movement. But imagine the mindfulness we could be practicing if we all considered everything we did 24 frames per second. But I know that's a bit much, so maybe we'll just start with the benefit if we were just mindful about once per hour. But for hours on end, Willis painstakingly manipulated the Kong armature, not only bringing life, but also incredible emotion to the puppet that is still an amazing feat to this day. But upon seeing the preview of the finished film on the big screen, he was devastated by the sight of his fingertip impressions on Kong's fur in most of the shots, leading him into a depression and feelings of failure, as he had not noticed the mistake before the stills were stitched together. He thought he had ruined the film and would never work again. But when the reviews came in, astounding! They praised Kong for the realism, even down to the details of the wind blowing through Kong's fur, which were his fingerprints. So it goes to show, even if you make a mistake, it's usually just the beginning of accidental growth, and others will maybe see it as a success, because in the end, all mistakes can usually be fixed. So if you enjoyed watching, please like and subscribe. And if you've got your own Empire State Building to climb, just take the first step. And remember, look after yourself, help others, and make progress.